here I am looking like crap. Gonna be heading to urgent care. We already went once, but there's something orally going on with baby girl. So we went, and the wait was so long, and I have to get my big boys. I don't have anybody to help me pick them up. So we had to come back home, fed the littles, and we're gonna pick up the boys and head back over. And hopefully we'll finally have an answer to what's wrong with this child. You know, it's not fun unless we talk about some makeup. So these are Feather River Body. Now this first row right here is a bundle for their fall bundle. This right here is still available. This single shade right here is a dupe for one of the Anastasia Subculture palettes. I want to get all of the dupes and test them out. But this row right there is supposed to be dupes for the peach, Too Faced Peaches and Cream matte collection. Now this shade right here, Princess Pepe, is not a matte shade, but it can be blended down, the girls said. Now this row right here, boom, boo-doo-doo-doo-doo, boom, boom, are all from the Balm Beauty bundles. So I believe that most of their shades run $5 a piece, but when you buy them in bundles, they are significantly discounted, like $40, $44 for like 12 shades. So I'm hoping that they keep putting out more bundles, but I am in love with this matte formula. Here is one of the shades. It was called Rarity. Let's see. Here's a matte. Ooh. Another one. Let's just, I've used this one before, I love it. Crazy good, right? I cannot wait to swatch them all for you guys. Some of them look a little similar, like this one, and this one, but you know how it is. If you're an eyeshadow lover, you find the differences and everything. And I would much rather buy bundles like this than a big like Morphe palette. It's just me. And I have an obsession with mattes, so I'm hoping that she brings out more. She's changed the name to Sydney Grace. It was Feather River Body, and now it's being changed over to Sydney Grace. And it sure looks like we're driving right toward a fire, which is great. Wow. They got the fire out though.
Those firefighters are cool.
They got it out quick.
I see a fire. A little bit of fire. When did it start?
When I was on my way to pick you guys up from school. So we're here at urgent care. And actually they are treating us so good. I actually left here and I will tell you my story of patience and how patience can actually be a virtue that I don't have. You'd think 5 kids I'd have it. So here we are waiting. So here's my lesson in patience. We went to the first urgent care and there were so many people in there, and the last time that we were here at this particular one, we were here at like 6 o'clock and we didn't leave until 10, and the place closed at 9, and we were not the last ones in, but we were the last ones out. So I had that memory in my head and I was like, I'm not trying to do that with 5 kids, not trying to do it. So I called a couple urgent cares while we were in the waiting room, and one of them said they had a 15-minute wait. So I was like, cool, let's go kids, and we all loaded up. And as we were about to cross a main pathway, I saw another urgent care on the right side of the road. And I decided to call that number too. And they said that they opened at 5 p.m. So that was like 2 minutes away. And I was like, cool, we'll cruise on in there because there's literally like 2 people in line. So we all run in because we want to be, number 3 in line. And I'm standing there, and the lady's like, oh, is it for you? And I'm like, no. And she goes, oh, we don't take children under 3. So we drove all the way to the other town where they said it was a 15-minute wait. They had moved locations, so it was literally like 1 street away, but that was a process of finding it. We come in, they run insurance, and because my daughter's original primary is in another city, a city called Temecula, they wouldn't see her because it was out of network. I was raging. I'm like, you know, we don't have, for Aslan, her insurance is with her dad because he has, you know, a good job. He doesn't qualify for any freebies, but yet we struggle. Every month we struggle. And we pay quite a bit for our insurance. All of our co-pays are quite large for him and her. And then this is the struggle. You're like, wait a minute. We pay for this service. Like, it's not, we don't have free insurance. We don't get like state insurance for them. And I wish we did. So it's almost like the cheap state funded stuff is easier than when you pay out your butt. Like, your paycheck is hugely garnished, and then every time you get sick, your copays are up your ass. Like his doctors, when he was admitted to the hospital, I'm waiting on that bill still, and I believe that bill is going to be over $1,000. And it's so frustrating. So I'm like, screw this, we're going home, and we will go back to the original urgent care, you know, like an hour before it closes. Well, I guess that was a thought everybody else and their mom had, because the place was packed more than it was at 4:30. And so that's bad on me. Should have been patient and just sat there. But for some reason, they were super cool and brought us right back because we had been technically signed in at 4:30. So we only had to wait about 25 minutes. Over our whole trip was an hour, which is awesome. But it is concerning. I self-diagnosed her, and I was right. I think I'm pretty remarkable. Although, you know, most of the time you look on the internet and every problem is like bad. But with hers, it has gone into her gums. So I thought, number one, she either has an ear infection, or number two, it's a fancy term for swollen gums. It's like not gingivitis, but kind of for babies. And it's kind of led into by the herpes virus. So what it means is that she's gotten this virus and her gums are swollen, and now she's bleeding very, very easily. And the doctor's concern was if the bleeding isn't clotting or it's like old blood, that she could choke. So I'm supposed to keep an eye out for her mouth and check her. That kid won't let me in her mouth, but I just got to keep an eye out on it. And they gave her an antibiotic, not for earache or anything like that, but if she has any bacterial in her gums. And I can't give her ibuprofen anymore. And ibuprofen has been the thing that's been killing her fever off, but it also is a heavy bleeder. So no NSAIDs. There's your little moment right there. So yeah, it's just been really frustrating. I guess her main doctor, which I loved, was the kind of doctor that you pick up the phone at 2 o'clock in the morning and this woman would answer. Must have gotten to her because she merged with another provider, and we ended up being connected to the old network. So I couldn't even get an appointment with her original doctor that she's had for 2 years this morning. So I had to go way of urgent care. It was the only way. It's just craziness. And this is another regular day for me. Sad, because at one point I wanted to film. But now I'm exhausted and I've got to go back out in an hour and pick up prescriptions. So there's your little be patient, Vanessa.